Hello, beautiful, amazing, fantastic world, and you, beautiful, magnificent individual. Today, I would like to speak a little about becoming aware and grabbing a hold onto your breath to be able to calm down our sentient soul and our sentient body. The body is the expression of the sentient soul when we feel the turbulence and the discomfort and so on that is in the astral world, and which we can perceive when we are awake in the present silent moment. When you breathe and keep a steady breath, despite actually feeling discomfort, feeling this turbulence is the best word to describe it. It is for every individual one of us to be able to handle our own inner being. The more we become acquainted with ourselves, aware, breathing, immersing ourselves in spiritual concepts and symbols, but also feeling ourselves into it, truly living into it, and making it a certain reality and daily deeds is the best way to describe it. It is you act the way you wish for yourself to behave in the future, step by step, and when you have the open awareness and awaken state to do it. It requires to remind oneself, in a sense, that we are in this present moment, and that from this present moment, the flower of awareness and love unfolds itself within our being. The more we deepen our own inner being, faculties for perception, understanding, comprehension, and, well, to actually have a will and a longing to see love and to see something flourishing in this world that might be truly divine. The spark of the divine unfolds itself to truly swell up to become a sun over many lifetimes. The more we immerse ourselves and have an interest in these things, the more we fill our soul and spirit, our thoughts and our emotions and our will with these acts and conducts of living, ways of seeing the world, deepening, and to be able to find the divine hierarchy beyond what we normally see as sense perceptible physical reality. The sense perceptible physical reality is beautiful. It has many beautiful forms and shapes, but it is behind what is shaping it, what is forming it, giving it colors, giving it life, and also takes and regresses life back, not regresses, but take lives back into its bosom in the winter, cold months where it is sleeping within our own being as life within us. And in every summer it flourishes out and we see it everywhere around us. And the sun is constantly giving us this, the wonderful life force, the etheric, life formative forces. Our etheric body is what allows us to have this human shape, and also what counteracts the forces of death over a whole lifetime. That is what the sun gives us. And the astral body, which is the personal, the longings, the interests, are every personal human being's inner subjective world of emotions and comprehension of thoughts and so on. But it is all about becoming aware of it and to grab a hold and master our own instrument. So many of our faculties that we otherwise can use with our ego are grabbed onto by other beings and are used automatically in the background, in a sense. You get my drift? So if something happens to you and you just let your thoughts be trying to get away from it because you feel uncomfortable, you feel a certain... Your thoughts still goes on even though you have tried to turn away from it, and then it still is there, and it rouses our inner being. when we sit with ourselves when we feel like this, we acknowledge and respect ourselves that we feel like this. Don't judge ourselves or the other person that made us feel like this too much, because it helps arouse even more. But staying awake, calm in the moment, acknowledging, respecting, and being grateful for feeling it, so we can learn and move on. So we can understand it and grow as human beings. Once you have truly understand something, it will never have the same hold, the same forceful hold on you as it did the first time, because you truly have grabbed a hold of it, looked at it, turned it around, touched it, felt it, sniffed it, smelt it, tasted it. You get my drift. You have from every conceivable angle observed this object and or observed this situation and found out the true. You extracted the lessons from it, and that is what you gain from becoming calm within your body. You do not wish to go beyond your body and lose yourself away from this earth development. And you do not wish to lose yourself away from this beautiful cosmos either within yourself. You wish to truly express yourself balanced as a human, conscious human being in the present moment to everything around you. The more you master yourself, the better you become at communicating and leading people with your communication. That is what it is. When I give you videos, I assume that you are listening and following along with what I imagine and what I envision for me, so you are guided towards the concepts I am showing you. So you can have a glimpse of them yourself, so you can explore them yourself. I am not meant to be that, you know, as I have told before, I am not meant to give and give and give, and I am meant to give you a certain amount of inspiration so that you can fire up that firewood and give in more firewood inspiration to yourself. So you can inspire others, so they can inspire others, so we all can even out our understanding and compassion, love, and observing the true human beauty that comes from our inner soul and spirit. Not only focusing on what's out there, what we can consume, what we can gain, and truly enjoying the moment. From the silence of the calm truly speaks something that might be a little wise and clever, you know? Something that might give you a certain perspective in life. And that voice one can only grow deeper into by training our own body and soul and spirit, so that our faculties truly can tap into. We need to mature into these organs, these abilities. And that we can only do through practice, meditation, studying, and creative imagination. True imagination is not fantasy. It is not mental images passively. You use your thinking, your ability for perception and visualizing to, well, enlighten yourself in certain concepts and different areas of spirituality and also in the physical world. So when I tell you about an elephant, let's say I were to deeply and detail focus on its ear. I speak about many of the detail of its ear. Already now you imagine the ear of an elephant, right? That is imagination. And based on how we describe what we are imagining, we can see different things. And it affects our emotions too, so best focus on things that gives a certain stability and strength. And also be able to handle the hurricanes that might show up in life from here to there. We all have a responsibility within ourselves to master and to grab a hold of our own self, so we can be a healing and guiding force to this world, every single one of us. Working towards Philadelphia. No matter where we come from, no matter what kind of culture we have been born into and what you have been inculcated with, you have the freedom to relearn yourself and envision the world in how it truly is supposed to be and not what is easiest to fall into passively through observation. It really needs activity for it to flourish. Activity brings movement within us. If you box in a flower without sunlight, without being able to move, without being able to have a certain life to it, it will just ebb away. All life needs movement, needs activity, needs influx of life. And you, as an ego, not yet I, the Christ in me, the Christ worketh in me, allows the sun spark within you to work and heal in your being. But it requires you to be strong in your ego so that you can handle any discomfort, handle any negative thoughts and feelings, and be able to transform it to understanding and compassion. It requires effort, because it is easy to just fall into what we automatically feel about it and hence rip it apart, But ripping it apart doesn't help. It doesn't bring any helpful gifts, and you don't win any kind of abilities from it. You just let yourself go, but with holding, feeling, and going through it, you do it rather alone though, so you do not affect anyone else. You take these things, well, I at least do it for myself. I am a person that likes to, find out who I am by myself. Of course, in relation to others too, that is highly, highly important. Because if you only know who you are in relation to yourself and yourself alone, you don't have the full picture of the world. You need to have more life in your soul. So every person I imagine within myself, I know as a human beings are all unique persons. So I take them all differently. Every person I take with a standard amount of respect. God loves everyone equally. We stand from there. What comes otherwise thereafter is every individual's soul and spirit's time and situation, right? So if I speak to you, there are other soul and spiritual communications and social interactions that come out than if I speak with another human being, or my mother, or my father, or anyone. I take every single one consciously, what comes now. That is how we are living, interacting with each other. Melding our souls so that we can truly be active within creativity here and now. It is amazing what we human beings can do when we truly awake to a certain creative moment. It is really, really, you can grab a hold to a whole lot of fun. And also to deep devotional feelings, to deep, also somber feelings, feeling of a certain melancholy when we, let's say, reflect upon death and so on, but also a certain feeling of hope and awakening of life again when we think about the resurrection, and that death is not the end. It is when there is the resurrection overcomes and we have new opportunities and are a new being, more or less. We are the same, but a new being, just transformed. So there is never an end. It is only transformation. Transformation is what truly is reality in a sense. Everything is in motion. Something is a little slower than other things. Like earth is much, 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 much slower than fire and earth and air and water is. And the more densely down we come, the more physically we go down, the slower things go. And it is about becoming acquainted with the mineral world, the plant world, the animal world, and the human world, or kingdom. Mineral kingdom, plant kingdom, animal kingdom, and human kingdom. And then above that again, the hierarchy. And then we also have below again, which is we can imagine what's below. That's some destructive forces right there. And yeah, it is about seeing this physical, materialistic, outer sense perceptible world and filling it again with order and love and the hierarchy, and to place things again into reality as it should in a spiritual form, spiritualizing what we see, lifting up the ordinarily mundane into the super ordinary, to the divine. And it takes time, it takes practice, training, and immersing oneself in concepts actively. And I think I will leave you with this. Thank you so much for listening to me. You are amazing. May you be guided, protected, loved, and blessed by Father, Holy Spirit, Christ, Michael, the higher hierarchy, ancestors, and ancient masters of old. Thank you so much. Love you all. Goodbye.